I'm from Richmond, Virginia, but I reside in South Atlanta.
And how old were you when you made that move?
2011. I'm 21 now. So in 2011, maybe 14, 13.
And why? Why make that move?
It was just some family issues, and then my mom had got affected by like the banks closing down in like 2006 or something like that. So it was kind of like rough, especially where we were at, Richmond, Virginia. It's like a communist state, I guess. So.
A communist, that's a weird description to say. Communist state?
Well, I might have used the word wrong. It's like that state thrives off of money. Like if you don't have the money, then you up shit creek. Especially where I'm from, gentrification, all of that shit happening out there. It's tough. So we just made that move. Not because of that. We made it, but it was just some family things. My grandma had died, and my mom just wanted a new start. So.
Is it a certain part of Richmond you represent?
Not really. I can't really say I represent Richmond because I did my school years in Georgia.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Now, you characterized your upbringing as rough. Paint that picture for us of Richmond, of Atlanta for you growing up. What was that like?
It was like, all right, so...
You kind of painted a little bit of it, but just in case you want to add some more details to it.
It's like, all right, when I was in Richmond, I used to get bullied because of my voice, nose, you know. And everybody in elementary or middle school, they all ugly. They go through the ugly phase. They be like, man, when you go back and look at your middle school pictures, you be all bumped up, teeth be all bucked and stuff like that. But mine, it was just my voice. Like people were just scared. I didn't grow into it yet at the time. I was just getting bullied, and then out here, it kind of changed because it was a new scenery, and I just stayed to myself. And instead of me trying to focus on being a cool kid, I just was like, fuck being cool, I'ma just be me.
Now, you mentioned rough. How rough did it get? What was maybe your roughest moment growing up?
When I got expelled from school, dude was just doing the most. See, one thing, I'm a smart kid. Like, I'm only 21, I ain't no kid, I'm a young man. But just because I got the braids and I smile a lot and I'm always just happy doesn't mean I'm not with the fuck shit, because I am with the fuck shit if you with the fuck shit, but I don't promote that. I'm not with that, but if I have to take it there, then I will. And the roughest thing is me getting expelled from school because I was defending myself. When I'm talking about bullied, I'm talking about like niggas was like trying to jump me, and I would be running from them. It was times where like I would be skipping school because I didn't want to go because I knew that I was getting to a fight. And one day I just was like, fuck being scared. I'm about to show these niggas that I ain't no bitch for real. Like, so I went through and I smacked dude with a chair.
And that was bad enough to get you expelled.
Yeah, I smacked him with a chair, and then when I hit him with the chair, I hit the teacher by accident. But I was already causing trouble. See, when you getting fucked up like that and you don't have nobody to talk to, you lash out on people that don't need to be lashed out on. So that was my problem.
Why didn't you talk to your mom?
Cause with parents, it's easier said than done. Like, it's conversations that me and my mom should have had when I was young that we can't have now because I have to learn on my own. I don't feel comfortable with talking to my mom. Not saying that I don't love my mom, because I do love my mom and my father, but it's just, at the time I wasn't comfortable. I got parents where like they were kind of strict. Like, they weren't having that shit. So when I would get put out of school, I was getting disciplined, but I ain't give a fuck.
What grade was this when you were expelled?
8th grade.
8th grade. So, but I assume an alternative school had to be?
Yeah, I went to a school called CCP.
And then, by the time high school started?
I started fresh.
back into regular public school again?
Because I moved to Georgia. When I came to Georgia, I moved to Wesley Chapel. That's why I was like, and I've always been into music and stuff, but how I really got into music is, I forgot what the dude's name was, but Young Thug had put out a tape called I Came From Nothing. And then I was fucking with Jacquees a lot, like when he was doing like the Queen mixes and shit like that. I caught that time period, like that wave of music when like Travis Porter and them came out. Wiz Khalifa had just dropped, what is it, Rolling Papers or something like that with the green cover. Yeah, he had just dropped that. Kendrick Lamar had dropped. It was a good time in music in 2012. That's when I like really found myself for real. Cause I got into a new scenery. Where I was at, it was all depressed and it was like a box. It was like looking at celebrities, I would have never thought I would have like came across them like today. So.
You mentioned bullying and teasing in school. And you got expelled in that particular fight. Was that the only fight you were involved in, or were you involved with other fights?
Nah, I was involved with a whole bunch of other fights. I was like, and at that time, at that moment, it was a thing of just trying to have something to prove. Once I found out that I don't have to prove shit to nobody, I started getting my mind right. I started thinking more about the future and shit like that. But around that time when I came out here, it was bad. Like, I'm at Southwest DeKalb, and it's cliques, niggas is in cliques that's doing killings and stuff. I'm feeling like I gotta protect myself. So anytime somebody say something fly out the mouth, I'ma catch their ass. Like, don't say nothing to me. But I was also that cool guy. I always had to prove myself anywhere I went, like, because they took me for a joke. I usually don't talk as much because of my voice, and I like to save my energy for the stage, so, but yeah.
So these fights you were involved in, you were defending yourself, not the aggressor?
Yeah, nah, I was never that nigga that's like trying to look for trouble. I was always defending myself. Like, and you ain't even gotta hit me. You could say something wrong. You could, just say anything that'll disrespect me. I thrive off of respect and loyalty. So if you disrespect me or you're being disloyal, then there's a discipline that come with that.
Bullying and teasing is a really big subject that's discussed in school nowadays. It wasn't really talked about or really blown up when I was going to school, and I'm sure it wasn't as blown up with the generation before my generation, but with the current generation that's out there, it's pretty tough, it's pretty bad, it's pretty talked about.
Yeah.
And bullying can happen in all sorts of ways, not only personally, physically, but online, cyberbullying, and things of that nature. I just recently saw a headline where it said, and I can't remember the exact details, but it was like an 8 or 9-year-old kid committed suicide over bullying or teasing, and I've never heard of a story of an age that young where stuff like that is happening.
Yeah, because this generation kind of weak. You can't really say shit without somebody trying to sue you, someone saying they not your friend. Niggas be acting weak these days, so the bullying I'm talking about you go to the bathroom and the school bullying that bitch, and he happened to be in the bathroom, you probably about to get your ass whooped right there, like, and that's the type of shit I was going through. It wasn't a thing where it was like someone's gonna make me commit suicide. It was a thing where it's like they pick with my voice, or they think they could just get over on me because I was the smartest in class and I never said anything. I was just a quiet little nigga in the corner just doing my little classwork. You feel me?
Now, somebody watching this, let's say they're going through bullying, teasing, that sort of thing. Every circumstance could be different for everybody, but what's some general advice that you would tell somebody in regards to that? Any general advice when it comes to bullying and teasing you would tell somebody?
I would tell somebody not to, I can't force nobody to not think about suicide, but I would tell them to speak out about it. Don't be scared, tell somebody. Like, just be comfortable. Like, it's okay, everybody go through problems. And bullying is a problem, you know what I'm saying? Just speak about it. Somebody will help you get through it. A lot of times people be feeling like nobody help them get through it.
Did you rap while you were in school?
Yeah.
How young? What grade or what age?
I mean, I've been rapping since I was a little baby. My brothers got stories of me taking like their little cassette tapes and stuff and recording. So when I took it serious, I was probably like 10, 11.
Battled classmates?
Yeah.
Won more, lost more, broke even?
It was more of a thing where it was like, I was trying this shit, like, let me see if these people would fuck with me. And then when they would battle, I wouldn't even battle. I just throw my little bars up in that joint and then ease up out. And then when somebody else, they getting it in, I ease back in and then ease on out. They'd be like, yo, this little froggy nigga, he killing this shit right now. Yeah, that was me.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah, I graduated with a 3.3.
After high school, was there any thoughts on furthering your education?
Nah.
Why not?
I feel like college is like a waste of time. I feel like school is a waste of time, for real, for real. I'm not saying to anybody, don't finish school. That ain't what I'm saying. I just feel like school don't teach you what they need to teach you. Like, when I graduated, I didn't know how to write a check. I didn't know how to pay bills. I didn't know how to do none of that stuff. They didn't teach me the proper, they taught me what I needed to know, but they didn't teach me the proper, I don't know what it is, but
life skills.
Yeah, they didn't give me the life skills, and that's why people be getting fucked up out here, because they don't have a foundation to go off of. Yeah, we can get taught this math, but how do we apply the math? Yeah, we can get taught science, but how do we apply the science? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't teach us about entrepreneurship in school. They taught us about working for people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really think school wasn't for me.
What was your parents' reaction to not furthering the education?
My mom was behind. My mom and my father was behind everything I did. So they didn't even ask me. They would throw it up like, you need to get a job. You might want to go to trade school. I was like, fuck trade school and fuck all that job shit. I'm trying to do this music.
So you went straight into the music career path, industry, business right after? Or was there stuff happening before that decision was made? Like, for instance, where I don't know if you were in the streets, I don't know if you had a job, you know, that sort of thing.
Right after high school, I jumped right into the music. I worked at Waffle House. That was the worst job ever. And I worked as a groundskeeper for like apartments, picking up trash. That was the easiest job. Got paid every Friday, $500 every Friday. You save two of them bitches, you got a band.
Good at math.
Hey.
Very good at math. Can't pay the bills, but you're good at math.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thinking back, hindsight 2020, did you make the best decision? Or do you wish you would have furthered the education?
I think I made the best decision, because I wouldn't be here today if I didn't, if that made sense.
Somebody watching this, let's say they just graduated high school and they have a passion for music. Not necessarily like a rapper like yourself, could be a DJ, a producer, an engineer, a videographer, whatever the case may be. They just graduated, they have the passion for music, and they have to make the next choice in their life. Do you tell a kid like that, go straight into the music industry, music career path, music choice, music business? Or do you tell a person, if they can continue their education, do that and music at the same time? Circumstances could be different for everybody, but overall general advice, what do you say?
I would tell that person, do what make you happy. School ain't for everybody, and follow your heart and your mind. That's what counts the most, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what another person think about you. If you want to be the best pooper scooper in America, be the best damn pooper scooper in America. Can't nobody do your job like you. So if you if you don't finish school, if you do finish school, do what make you happy.
Now, you mentioned 2 different jobs. Were those the only jobs you had growing up, or were there others?
Nah, them was the only 2.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs? Anything that happened out of the norm?
Yeah, when I was working at Waffle House, alright, so I was working at Waffle House and they'd be like, pull a bacon, you gotta pull 3 strips of bacon. So at Waffle House, you go in the back, go in the refrigerator, you get a box of bacon and stuff like that. You open it, take the bacon out of the box, put it inside the little freezer. Well, my little weak ass at the time, because I'm on my workout shit, you feel me? Like, my little weak ass took the bacon out the thing, and when I put it up there, it was some bacon already in there, but it was melting, so it caused all the bacon that I put inside the freezer to slip the fuck out, and it fell on the ground, and they rolled me up for that shit, and I was already on my like 5th write-up, because I was coming to school, I was coming to work late and shit. Like, me and my homie Donnie, we'll be in the cut, smoking, we'll go in that bitch, and when we felt like it, we was just eating, for real.
So, safe to say you were fired at that job?
Nah, I stopped going.
Oh.
Yeah, the only reason why I stopped going is because, like I said, I don't have no plan B. My plan B is my plan A. So if I don't make it as an artist, which I am going to make it as an artist, I'm going to do something that involves music, you know what I'm saying? But I stopped going because the only reason why I was working at Waffle House was to get a better microphone for my studio.
Now, you mentioned your mom at first, then you threw in your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So both parents in your life at this point?
Yeah. They separated though, but yeah.
Good terms with both?
Mm-hmm.
They separated. I'm assuming you stayed with your mother.
I lived with my dad, and then my dad went through some shit, and then I moved with my mom. So yeah, I stayed with my mom, yeah.
Okay. How old were you when they separated?
I was a baby. I don't even remember them even being together.
When you did live with your mom, were you still seeing your dad, or were you strictly like pretty much with your mom?
American Black story. Dad would just come pick me up, look out the window, he ain't pull up, looking like a sad camper. But he did pull up every once in a while though.
Did you have another male figure in your life?
Yeah, my uncle. When I moved to Georgia, yeah.
Okay. Now, you've been through some things, but in regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through?
When I went to jail.
And what'd you go to jail for?
I beat somebody's ass for touching my girl, which was the dumbest decision ever. Don't ever put your life on the line for somebody else, especially a female that wouldn't put herself on the line for you. You know what I'm saying? Ended up beating this guy up, and they put me on probation, and I couldn't pay the probation because I didn't have the funds, and my mom wasn't gonna help me because it was my own problem. So I ended up violating because I wasn't paying, and I had to do a month in jail for my violation, but that month was I only had 30 days left on my probation, so I had to spend the rest of the 30 days in jail.
Tough.
Yeah, that shit pissed my mom off. When it first happened, it pissed her off. Like, the cops came through the door, and, well, they ain't busting that bitch, but they was just like, they knocked, and then they was like, we looking for Emil Smith, and my brother was like, he don't live here, and my mom came downstairs and was like, who they looking for? And it was like, we looking for Emil Smith, he live here, and shit like that, whatever they said. I was in my room, and then my mom was like, she called me, I came out of my room. They was like, you're under arrest for whoop-de-wop. I ain't gonna tell you what I did, but, cause I don't promote the violence. But you under arrest for whoop-de-wop. And my mom was like, that wasn't my baby. And when they put the handcuffs on me, she was beating my chest like, Emil, why? You smarter than this. I'm like, Mom, stop. It was crazy.
Were you the only child, or did you have other siblings?
I got other siblings. On my dad's side is my 2 older brothers and my baby sister. And then on my mom's side is my older sister and my 2 baby brothers.
Anyone else in your family raps or just you?
Nah, it's just me.
Now, what does your family think about your rap career at this point?
They don't even know what the fuck going on, man. My mom is clueless. She don't know nothing about this. Like, she's just like, she thinks it's just still email in the closet, coming out and hitting the space bar, going right back in that joint 100 times a day, 100 different ways, and then coming right back out. She think it's some small shit right now. But my uncle, he peeped game. He peeped, like, I pulled up on his Explore page on Instagram. He was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, that's me.
Parents supportive?
Yeah, my dad be trying to like put me on game and shit. He be showing me some shit, like it's a group called War. And you know about War? I'm wilding, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Oh, right. Yeah, but War, I fuck with the people that I listen to off of my dad, George Clinton. I fuck with, who else do I like? I like the Osley Brothers because of my dad. I like, just the whole Funkadelic era because of him riding a Cadillac.
Were they supportive right away or did they have to warm up to it?
Nah, my mom had to warm up to it.
What was the turning point for her?
It's really no turning point because she's still clueless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to surprise her.
Now, what do your parents actually think about your music?
That's something I can't even tell you. My mama, I don't know if she know 100 times a day. My dad, he be listening to that joint. My nephews, they love it. They be like 100 times a day, 100 different ways. I'll be like, yeah, that's cool.
What about the cussing?
What
do they think about that?
When I curse in my music, my mom don't like that shit. And my dad don't like that shit neither, but I be like, fuck it.
Have they had a chance to see you perform live yet?
Nah, cause my dad still lives in Virginia, and my mom, she ain't with that shit right now. That's why I'm keeping it a secret. I'm trying to do some big shit. I mean, I already do be doing big shit, but like, do some crazy shit and just bring her out, fly her out somewhere.